Hey everyone, this is Dhruvin, and in this session we will be talking about how we can customize SharePoint list form using JSON formatting. So now let's talk about the overall session agenda that we are going to cover here. If we talk about modern SharePoint environment, there are different ways to customize your out-of-the-box list form. The first way to customize the list form is using JSON formatting. Another way is that you can go with Power Apps and customize your form with Power Apps. Sometimes you can use custom SPFX solution in order to customize your form. Now, in this session, we will be talking about the easiest approach that we are going to cover throughout this entire session, and which is JSON formatting. Now, what do we mean by JSON formatting and how it is useful to us? Let me talk about that thing in detail over here. So let's say for an example, here I have one of my SharePoint list, and whenever I'm clicking on new icon, it will open this out of the box list form. This out of the box list form is responsive in nature, meaning let's say I'm increasing and decreasing the size of my window, and here you can see that the form is responsive in nature. Now let's say for an example, what I want to achieve here is I want to customize my out of the box form in such a manner that it will looking like this thing. So here you can see that I have added one header section, one body section and one footer section, and you can see that I have arranged the fields in the different section. So how can I achieve this kind of requirement? The answer is JSON formatting. Now, first of all, during this entire demo, we are going to build one live application system. In my Power Apps video series, we already talked about how we can customize this with the Power Apps and develop the live application system. But what about if we want to achieve the similar kind of thing with the help of JSON formatting? We will be discussing that thing in detail over here. So first of all, this is the requester view where you can see all your leaves over here. Now here I have two different users. One is Dhruvin and another is Tejal. Now Tejal want to apply one leaf over here. So she will click on new icon over here. She will first select the leaf type as unplanned leaf and category as sick leave. Now she will choose start date and end date from here. And now she will add leave description facing health issue. And she will choose manager over here. Now here we have one conditional column over here. So when the manager is equal to current user, only at that time this manager section will appear to her. Otherwise it will not appear to anyone. Meaning whenever we select the manager from here, only at that time manager will able to see entire this section. Now let's say Tejal's manager is Dhruvin, so she will enter his name, Dhruvin, right? And now this section is not appear over here. But what if she will enter her own name over here? So she will able to see this entire section over here where manager can change the status, add the comment and take the appropriate action on that. But now let's keep the manager as Dhruvin over here. And now let's just click on save. So Tejal has added her leave request. Now as a manager, Dhruvin want to approve that request. So he will go here and he will go to the leaves assigned to me section. And here you can see that the default status for the request is in progress, right? And now here you can see that facing health issues. Now as a manager, I want to take an appropriate action on that. So I will click on this action button. So that will open up one Power Automate flow for me. I can also choose the edit form as well. But now here we have two options, approve and reject. So let me approve her request and let me add a comment as approved, and I will click on run flow. So what it will do is it will update the status for that specific request as approve and approve Tejal's request. Now let me just hit refresh, and here you can see that it is automatically go to the approve section and the leave has been approved successfully, right? So this is how we can build our leave application system. Now here you can see that different configuration pieces. The first thing is that we have customized this form. We have added the conditional logic over here. Also we have added this kind of button thing over here, right? So how can we achieve all of this requirement over here? Let's talk about that thing in detail over here. So for that, first of all, before we get started, let me show you the list structure that I have created over here in this list. So first of all, let me open up my list settings. So here you can see that the first column is title column or description column, which is single line of text. Then I have leave type and leave category as a choice column. Then I have manager column as people picker column. Start date and end date is a date and time type of column. Number of days column is something which I am showing in as a calculated column. So I just subtracted start date minus end date. And then I have manager comment as single line of text, status column as a choice column, and action as a single line of text where I am adding that button, right? So this is the overall list structure. Now let's get started and customize this SharePoint list over here. Now I already customized this form, so I'm moving to the same list over here. So here I have created the same list structure called Leave YouTube, right? Now out of the box manner you are able to see this kind of form over here. Now I wanted to customize this particular form over here. Now how to do that? So whenever you click on new icon from here, you are able to see this type of form icon on the top right corner. Click on that and you will find three different options over here. The first is edit columns, configure layout, and customize with power apps. This is the same thing that we have discussed over here. Now let's click on edit columns from here. Here you are able to see all the columns from your SharePoint list. Now you can simply drag and drop different column and change the position of your column from here. But in this case, what we are going to achieve here is we will want to add some conditional formatting over here. Now, here what we want to achieve here is we want to show and hide the columns based on the different conditions. Let's say for an example, here I have manager comment. Now, I wanted to have a functionality that if manager is equal to current user, only at that time this column should visible to me. So, at that time, I need to add one conditional column. Let's add that. So for that, click on ellipsis, click on edit conditional formula, and it will open up this pop-up for you. Now here there is one official documentation provided by Microsoft. But before we do that, let's apply the formula. So it is supporting Excel like formula where we are going to add one if condition. If manager.email is equal to me, meaning the current user, then it is true, else it is false, and click on save. Once you add this condition over here, you can see that this column is grayed out, meaning it is the conditional column. Similar way, I wanted to apply the same condition for status and action column as well. If email is equal to current user, then I want to show status column as well. And similar way for action column as well, I wanted to apply the same formula, right? And now once you do that, just click on save. Now here I have opened up that official Microsoft documentation where they have provided more information about showing and hiding condition on different types of column. Like let's say for an example, if you want to compare the choice column, you need to provide the name of your column and then value which you want to compare. If category is equal to this, then true, else false. Now to show and hiding the conditional column, at this moment this menu of column supported: person column, multiple choice column, time calculation column, currency column, location, calculated column, and manage metadata column, right? Now here there is quick formula reference is provided, like for choice column, for number column, for date column, for person column, for boolean value. right? So all of this thing is provided here for your reference. So just check out that document and check on which type of column you want to apply the condition. You will get more idea on that part over there. So this is all about to apply the different conditions to show and hide the column. Now let's customize our form. For that, just go to the new item, click on here and click on configure layout. So once you click on configure layout, on the right hand side you will able to see this type of section where you wanted to apply your formatting for your header, body and footer, right? Now what do we mean by header, footer and body? Let's talk about that thing in detail over here. So first of all, let's choose body over here. And let's say for an example, whenever I show you the demo, we have created three different sections: leave category, leave details and manager details, right? So we wanted to create this type of sections over here as well. For that, we need to apply simple line of code over here. So basically, for more information, you simply need to click on learn more. That will redirect you to this official documentation, and here you will see that different JSON schema for different things like footer, body and everything, right? So here you can see that there is a body section. Just copy this thing from here and paste it over here and change some of the stuff over here. So if we can see here this particular section, the syntax is like this. First, there is a key called sections. In that, we need to provide the display name of our section and different field for our section. Then, similar way, we need to provide the display name for second section and fields for the second section. So let's say we wanted to have three different sections for our form. So we need to provide three different display name over here. So under section, I have three display name over here. One is leave category, leave details and manager details. Now under each individual stuff we need to provide the field information. So in the first section I wanted to have leave type and leave category. So I need to provide the display name for those two columns. After that, in leave details I wanted to have these four columns. So I need to provide the display name for these four columns over here: start date, end date, number of days, description and manager. And at last, in manager detail section, we need to provide status, manager comment and action, right? So this is how this body structure is designed. Now, when you click on this preview option, it will preview that stuff for you. But now let's just save this thing over here. Now let's refresh this particular page over here and let's see the outcome over here. So here you can see that this has added the different sections onto our form like this. Now just click on new icon again and click on this edit columns. Now under edit column as well you are able to see the different section name over here. Now you can simply drag and drop this section from one section to another section and arrange that stuff. Now when you do this kind of change, the JSON formatting code is automatically changed based on your convenience. Let's say I wanted to add leave description over here. Just click on save. Now let's say when I click on this configure layout and went to the body section, that time you can see that this code has automatically been changed over here. So you can simply click on edit columns and based on your convenience you can change the field positioning as well. And once you do that, you just need to hit refresh to reflect your changes over there. So this is about the edit column stuff. Now let's say for an example, I want to add this type of interactive header on the top of my form. So how can I do that? For that, let's go again and click on configure layout and just click on the header section. Now just go to this particular link and here as well you will find some code for your header section. So here is the code for your header. Here you can see that it is provided this kind of code where they have defined the element type as div. Inside div we have another div section, and inside that we are providing this kind of information and different styling. At this moment, let's copy this entire thing and paste it over there. So I'm just copying it from here and go to here and try to paste it. So I'm paste this entire code over here and just click on preview. So here you can see that we have this type of header section available, right? Now I will talk more about this all properties on the later part of this session, where I will show the official Microsoft documentation for the more information. So this is how we have configured the header. Now it's time to configure the footer. So similar way, we just need to add this footer code from here. So just copy this footer code and paste it over there. I'm just copying this and pasting over here. And now just click on preview. So here you can see that one footer with more HR policy is being added. And now I'm just clicking on save and we are good to go, right? So our form has been customized successfully over here. So whenever I'm clicking on new, this type of form will visible to me, right? Now let's talk about the detailed thing about how this particular thing is going to work, which type of element you can create with the help of this type of JSON formatting, right? Now for that, let me do one more thing over here. All right, so here you can see this reference link. So at this moment we can use this many of element type in order to support this custom JSON formatting. You can use div, span, anchor tag, image, svg, path and button tags, right? Now based on your requirement you can choose the appropriate thing over there. Now, if we talk about the different styles that we have added into our JSON, so at this moment, this many of styles are supported. The entire documentation is being provided over here like this. You can use different operators as well as attribute as well. All the information is provided in this particular link over here. Now, before we do that, let's open up the code that we have done, and now let me try to explain you that code. Just open up the configure layout and just open up the header section. So on the header, you can see that first of all, the element type is div, the main element that we have taken as div, and we have provided different types of style over here to it. After that, we have done children tag over here. In children, we have another div tag, and inside that we have some another div element added. So we have two different div element inside this particular children, and inside that we have added our live application tag over here. So, and we have provided different types of styling over here as I've shown you in the box, right? So basically actually Microsoft provided so many types of list formatting options over here. The GitHub repository is available, the entire GitHub repository is available over there. So basically you just need to copy the different JSON structure, you need to try it by your own and you can customize based on your convenience. Alright, now one more important thing as well, like over this particular JSON formatting, it is also supporting the conditional formatting as well. So let's say if you are applying some styling on your elements that you are creating, and you wanted to apply a condition that if your choice is something like this, apply this style, else this style. So even that thing is also possible over here. So that is one thing. Now we already formatted our form over here. Now it's time to format our columns over here. So let's say for an example, for managers, we have added a custom button to approve and reject the stuff over here. Now, how did I achieve that thing? Let me talk about that thing in detail over here. So first of all, go to your SharePoint list, and now here I have taken one column called actions. Now this action column is a single line of text column. Now I wanted to format this particular column. So for that I am going to column settings and now just click on format this column. So here it will open this type of view for me. Now over here we need to choose on advanced option, and here you can see that JSON formatting option over here. Now open up this link for column formatting. Now which type of things are supported in column formatting, let's discuss about that thing over here. So most of the time while you are doing the SPFX development, you have heard about the word field customizer, and here column formatting will do the similar work of that. But what is the main difference between column formatting as well as field customizer? So let's say you wanted to apply the conditional formatting based on the values and value range. So definitely you can go with the column formatting. Field customizer also support that thing. Action link. So at this moment it is supporting static hyperlink that do not launch the script, and here it is also invoke the custom script. That is the main difference in between that. So if you wanted to add a condition like you wanted to invoke your custom scripting, it will not support, but definitely static hyperlinks are supported. Data visualization, which HTML and CSV is expressed using this particular stuff, and it will support any data visualization over here. Now when we talk about the custom formatting, so first of all there is a basic formatting where we can simply uh, apply the display field value. So let's say for an example, you have currency thing or you have people picker column, and if you wanted to show only that thing to your column like person name or person's email address, so definitely you can use this type of basic field formatting. You can also apply the conditional formatting as well, that if your value is greater than something, then show this, else this. So this type of stuff is also supported. So here you just need to apply the specific condition. If less than 70, then apply this styling, else this styling. So this style information is also something which is provided in out of the box banner by Microsoft. Then we have some another formatting for date range as well. Like if you wanted to find out that if your date is greater than or less than with respect to another date range, then if it is overdue or late or something, you can cover with this particular stuff over here. Then you can also format the item based on the arbitrary dates over here, which I already talked about. Now you can also create clickable actions. So let's say for an example, if you want user to redirect on specific static link, then definitely you can use this type of formatting where you can use the element type as A and you just need to provide the URL like this, right? Then you can create an action button to the field. So let's say this is the assign to, and if you wanted to add mail to thing like this, it is also supporting over here. So basically you just need to prepare this kind of structure for that. Now this type of graphical representation is also supported here. So you just need to use this type of JSON structure over here. After that you can also show trending up and trending down icons over here. So choose wisely. And after that, the one most important thing, to trigger the flow and launch the button. So basically I just wanted to trigger my flow on the button click. So on single line of text I just use this type of column formatting where you need to use this kind of code and you need to provide the flow ID as parameter over here, and that will create this type of clickable action for you, and you are able to achieve the requirement like that. After that, there is an option to format the multi-value fields as well, like this. Also, one more interesting thing that I wanted to show here, that it is supporting the HTML element formatting as well, like this, right? Now, if you wanted to achieve the functionality, like you wanted to show the custom card on hover like this on the view, you can use this type of formatting as well, right? Now there are lots of capability of this JSON formatting. So you just need to check out this entire documentation for more reference over here. But here I have given you the overall idea that how it is going to work. Also, the all supported types of column is provided here, which type of column are not supported is provided. Also, the style guidelines also provided, like as I told you at the beginning, that this type of class is provided, meaning it will provide this type of styling to you over here, right? Similar way, this thing we already discussed about different types of element, button type, different types of styling option is also provided, attributes, children, debug mode, everything in the detailed manner is provided over here. So just read out and check based on your requirement. Now one more important thing that I want to show here is HTML formatting. Let's say here is one utility which is provided by PNP GitHub. So let's say for an example, I wanted to add this type of action over here, ahref, and I just have this type of styling available, right? Now what it will do is, in preview, when you click on run, it will show you this type of output to you, and this HTML structure is converted to the style structure like this. So basically, if you know the HTML and you wanted to convert to JSON, just use this tool that will provide you the JSON code to you, and you can use this code directly in your column formatting. So this is another useful tip that I wanted to add here. Now let's do one more thing, like let's say add one action over here and connect our flow over there. But before that, let me show you the flow that I have created over here. So let me just go to the flow.microsoft.com and let me show you the flow that in the demo I have. Whenever I click on that, it will open up this kind of pop-up. So how can I achieve this kind of thing and how to accept the input value from there? So let's see that. So here, let me just go to the my flow, and here I already created one flow over here that leaves item selected, right? Now let me just duplicate this flow because I wanted to apply the similar flow on my another list. So I'm just clicking on save as, and I'm just clicking on leave YouTube. Let me just rename this flow and just click on save. Let me just turn on this flow and let's add it. So here we just need to use an action for a selected item, meaning whenever we select any item from our SharePoint list, it will trigger out that flow, right? Then in input, we need to provide enter your input, and we just need to provide two choices. So basically, when you add this particular stuff, you have an option for drop down that approve and reject, and then manager column as a single line of text. You can choose different option from here, that you wanted to add choices or you wanted to accept the entire user input. So based on your requirement, you can choose anything. Just click on add input, select your input type from here. Like let's say if I'm wanted to accept the file, so let's select file, and it will accept the file from the end user, right? Then get item, get item from the leaves YouTube list, and we just need to provide ID over there. So whatever the ID that will be, we will get that item, and then we will update the item based on the input. So if we select approve, we are setting the choice column as approve, and over here we just selected custom value and we are selecting that value over here. And similar way, we are setting the manager comment over here in the update item, right? So this is the flow. Now from here we just need to copy this flow ID over here. So let me just copy this flow ID over here, and now let me just paste this flow ID over here into the JSON formatting. So for that, I need to use some line of code, right? Now I'm just pasting this flow ID in one of my notepad file. So let me just open up notepad and paste my flow ID over here. And now let me just add this line of code here. So basically I just took the element type as button. My custom action is execute flow. So as per the documentation, this button is something which is providing different type of actions. So Based on your requirement, you can choose the different action type over here. So if you click on this button element, you can see that it is providing default click. Then if you wanted to share the stuff, the action is called share. Apart from that, delete, edit properties, and execute flow. All of these actions are provided in out of the box manner. Now when you provide the execute flow, you need to provide the ID over here, right? So let's provide the flow ID over here. So let me just open up the code and let me just change the flow ID over here. So this is my flow ID. Let's copy and paste it over here. Now let's copy this entire code and let's paste over here into the formatting. So let's paste it, let's preview that, and let's click on save. Right, it has been stored. Now it's time to create a request. Now I have not defined the requester and manager view at this moment. Now let me show you how to do that. So over here, let's first customize this view. So click on create new view, and now let's just create a view called my leaves, meaning the requester view, and click on create. So I already customized that thing, so I'm able to see this kind of view over here. Now here I just wanted to arrange my columns. So I just wanted to have start date, end date, number of days, and then status column, and I do not want to show the manager information over here. So I'm just going here and show hide column. I just wanted to hide the manager comments and manager information from here, right? So this is how my requester view is looking like. Now similar way, let me configure the leave assigned to me. So where manager is equal to me, that view is looking like this one. Now let me just arrange this thing as well. So action button is there, start date, end date, and status stuff is going to be showing here. And if I'm showing you the view setting from the list setting, then it will looking like this. Leave assigned to me. So where manager is equal to current user, I applied that condition. Manager is equal to me, right? And in a request assigned to me means my leave section I have applied created is equal to me, right? Now it's time to test the stuff over here. So I'm just going to my view, my leaves. I'm applying one leave. Need leave for vacation, and I'm selecting my manager as myself over here. So this field is up here, but I will not add that at this moment. I'm just replicating this scenario, so that's why I just took this example. Do not took it more seriously. Now I'm going to the view called leave assigned to me as manager, and I can see the action button, and on action button it will trigger out this flow for me. So I just need to provide the continue over here, and I just wanted to approve the stuff. So I'm selecting approved and just click on run flow. So that will start my flow and will approve this particular stuff. And meantime, if we check this particular flow, let's check out the action. So it has been succeeded, and now let's hit refresh, and here we are. The status has been updated successfully, and it is marked as approved over here, right? So this is how we can customize our SharePoint form using JSON formatting, custom column formatting, as well as different configurable actions on our list. So hope you have got the clear idea about the JSON formatting with SharePoint list form. Now, with that, let me talk about one more interesting thing. Here we have configured different view, right? Now, let's say for an example, I am converting that to the gallery view. So this is looking like this. Now, with that, also we can configure view formatting as well. To configure the view formatting, what we need to do here is we need to click here and we need to click on Format Current View. Now, this will open the card designer for us. This is showing the different information in form of card. Now, let me click on card designer. So that will open different content that is available into this card. Now, based on our requirement, we can configure this card. We can change the position of different things over here. So let's say for an example, I wanted to check that whether the leave is approved or not. So I can make the status column on top of that. After that, I can also arrange the different field as start date, end date, number of days, then leave description, action column I do not want to show, leave category and leave type, right? Now this is how we can configure our card. Now these are the out of the box option. With that, it also provide an option called advanced mode where we can configure different formatting over here. So this is the similar kind of JSON formatting. Now let me talk about one more link over here. So here is a link which will show the information about the view formatting. Now, let's say for an example, here some of the option is provided. Now, sometime what happen here is your requirement is something you wanted to show the alternative row color like this. So at that time, you can configure your view and add this kind of JSON formatting over there. Similar way, you can also change the gallery layout customization and build your own custom card over here. Now, for column formatting, whatever the different syntaxes that we have used, we need to use over here as well. And we need to create custom JSON over here. The detailed syntax is provided over here. So based on your convenient and your requirement, you can choose the different layout over there, right? So that is one more additional thing that I wanted to talk about. So hope now you get the clear idea about the JSON formatting and how it is useful in our day-to-day business scenario. Now let me talk about the another way for customization of this form. So let's say for an example, here we have opened our leaves list. Now at this moment we have customized our form with the JSON formatting. But JSON formatting is something which is useful only when your requirement is simple and straightforward. Meaning if you wanted to show and hide only specific field, or let's say if you wanted to just format your form out of the box form and wanted to configure the layout, at that time this formatting is helpful. But let's say in your business scenario you have the complex situations where you wanted to trigger the Power Automate flow in order to pre-populate the other field, as well as you have a requirement that cascading drop down, or you wanted to have a functionality that when you select one choice field, another drop down value would be changed automatically. Or let's say for an example, based on the role or SharePoint group, you wanted to show and hide the specific fields based on the permission. So at that time this approach will not useful to you. At that time you need to go with the customized Power Apps approach. Now even with Power Apps there are two options. Either you can customize this list form, or you can create your independent Power Apps Canvas app. Now let's say for an example, when you click on customize form, what happen here is it will open up the Power Apps for you. Now here the out of the box form has already been created with every functionality on that. Now, based on your scenario and your requirement, you can create and design the form over here. So you simply need to click on add button and you can add different columns from here and prepare your Power Apps form and publish over there. And once you publish that thing, that form will be appear here into your list form, right? So this is the second way of customization, right? So based on your requirement and your convenient, you can choose based appropriate model for your customization of list form, right? So hope this tip is helpful to you. If you have any question, you can add your question in the comment section. If you are for the first time to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe and press the bell notification to never miss any updates from my channel. Stay connected with me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram. Also, if you are looking for any consultancy, here is the website. Click on that and fill your query over there. If you are interested for Instagram learning, click on this link. It will be redirecting you to this screen. Follow me over there and the different concept for Power Platform on Instagram. If you are interested to listen different Power Platform related audiogram, here is the podcast link. Click on that. It will be redirecting you to the screen. Here you can listen your favorite Power Platform podcast on your favorite podcast platform like Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and much more. Sh- Also, if you are interested for different short video related Power Platform, here is a separate channel called Digital Thruvin. Subscribe that channel and show your love over there as well. This is Thruvin signing off. See you in the next session. Have a great day. Goodbye.